When you picture hell, you probably imagine endless fire, rivers of lava, and eternal suffering. But the nine hells of Dungeons and Dragons are something far more complex and far more fascinating. This isn't just a place of torment, it's a sprawling, layered kingdom ruled by ambition, contracts, and iron law. Today, I'd like to explore how devils came to be, how hell itself was formed, and journey through each layer of this infernal realm, from its burning surface to the frozen heart where Asmodeus reigns supreme. In this D&D creation myth, long before mortals were born and before the prime material plane even existed, there was only chaos. From that chaos came the demons, creatures of pure destruction born long before the gods ever entered the picture. Seeking to impose order, the gods created divine laws and forged mighty angels to enforce them. Chief among these celestial champions was, in fact, Asmodeus, the strongest, most beautiful, and fiercest of all angelic beings. But the war against demons changed them. As the battles dragged on, Asmodeus and his fellow warriors began to reflect the savagery of the demons they fought. Their radiant forms darkened, their beauty became something terrible to behold. Fearing what their creations were becoming, the gods demanded they leave. Yet, Asmodeus had broken no law. Operating within the strict confines of divine rule, he and his followers were permitted to stay, at least for a time. Later, when the gods fashioned mortals and gave them free will, they were horrified to discover that mortals didn't always choose to obey. Frustrated, Asmodeus offered a solution. Those who disobeyed divine law should face consequences after death. The gods agreed, but they didn't want their heavenly realms polluted with the wicked. So Asmodeus proposed a pact. He would create a separate plane, the Nine Hells, where these souls would be punished. In exchange, he would be allowed to siphon magic from their suffering, to empower his minions and fuel his spells. The alternative was to grant Asmodeus godhood directly, something they absolutely refused. Reluctantly, the gods did sign the Pact Primeval, and the Nine Hells were born. Using the magic of these damned souls, Asmodeus crafted new beings, the devils. In time, the gods realized these devils were manipulating mortals into damnation to swell their numbers. But when they accused Asmodeus of foul play, he merely smiled and pointed to the fine print of their contract. The Nine Hells aren't a single realm, there are nine distinct layers, stacked like a hellish tower. Each level is a world unto itself, ruled by a powerful archdevil who ultimately answers to the lord of the ninth layer, Asmodeus. Travel between the layers isn't simple, but the infamous River Styx provides a dangerous pathway. Its ever-shifting river winds through the Nine Hells and even through other fiendish planes like the Abyss. In earlier editions, the Styx was described as a river of blood connecting evil realms. But after the Spell Plague, it was restored to its classical form, a river whose waters strips memories, flowing from the abyss through the Nine Hells and emptying into the astral sea. Navigating the Styx could, in theory, let you descend into a deeper level of hell, assuming you survive the journey. Now let's break down each of the Nine Hells, from the scorched battlefields above to the frozen wastelands below. At the threshold of hell lies Avernus, a blasted wasteland under a blood-red sky. Volcanoes erupt in the distance, rivers of magma carve the rocky ground, and twisted vegetation barely clings to life. Snake pits and hidden caves make the terrain treacherous. This lair was once ruled by Bel, a once mighty pit fiend who fought his way up through the infernal ranks to become the Archduke of Avernus. His rule was brutal, but his loyalty to Asmodeus, well, that kept him in power. That is, until Zariel came along. But that's a video and a story for another day. Beyond Avernus, in the second layer, is Dis, a dark and suffocating place where the air is thick with greenish clouds and foul rivers flow sluggishly. At its center looms the Iron City, a maze of metal towers and fortified streets where trust is a foreign concept. The ruler of this is Dispater, the Iron Duke, appearing as a tall humanoid with tiny horns and dark hair. Dispater's touch can corrode metal and turn living flesh into iron. He's notorious for freezing his enemies into statues, only to let them rust away into dust. The third layer is Minoros, an endless festering swamp where the dead decay openly. Rains of disease fall endlessly, and the air itself is heavy with corruption. Mammon, the Viscount of Greed, slithers through this foul bog, resembling a 30-foot long serpent with humanoid arms and head. Mammon embodies avarice and indulgence. Entire temples are sometimes raised in his honor, always at great and terrible costs. If Minaros is a swamp of rot, then Plagartos is a world of fire. Volcanoes belch ash into the air, rivers of molten lava slash across blackened hills, and ash storms scour the land. Here, two rulers share power uneasily, Ferna and Belal. These devilish humanoids rule from a jagged obsidian palace, embodying ambition, seduction, and cruelty. Descending even deeper brings us to Stygia, a frozen hell where oceans lie beneath sheets of unbreakable ice. The river Styx cuts a black scar across the frozen plains, and lightning arcs wildly across the skies. Sometimes, when lightning strikes the ground, it triggers a deadly phenomenon known as cold fire. The ruler of Stygia is Levestus, 6 foot tall, pale skinned fiend who is imprisoned beneath the ice, plotting his revenge against those who betrayed him. In the sixth layer, Malbolge is a shattered realm of towering, angular stone blocks stacked like deranged skyscrapers. Climbing between them is treacherous and poisonous vapors that seep from the cracks below. Here reigns Glacia, the daughter of Asmodeus. She seized control after the mysterious demise of the Hag Countess, whose body spasmed, twisted, and fused with the earth, her hair becoming forests and her fingers growing into towers. Glacia is cunning, ruthless, and fiercely ambitious. And in the seventh layer, Maladomini is a land of ruins and decay. Once grand cities now lie crumbling, and black ichor bubbles from cracks in the ground. Swarms of biting flies darken the sky. The archdevil, Beelzebul, once a proud figure, now resembles a grotesque slug, a punishment inflicted by Asmodeus for his past failures. Trapped in this realm of rot, Beelzebul rules nonetheless, nursing endless resentment. In the eighth layer, Khania is far colder and more brutal than Stygia. It is a realm of blizzards, shifting glaciers, and towering mountains of solid ice. Snow falls constantly, and death comes quickly to any of those who are unprepared. Amid this desolation stands Mephistar, a citadel of frost ruled by Mephistopheles, a brilliant, manipulative archdevil, red-skinned, horned, and winged. He's forever plotting to overthrow Asmodeus and claim the Nine Hells for himself. And at the bottom of the Nine Hells lies Nessus, a blasted world of extremes. Frigid cold and molten lava collide here, creating lakes of fire and walls of ice. Traveling deeper into this realm is like navigating a vertical labyrinth. At the center of it all stands Malsheen, the fortress of Asmodeus himself. Towering at 13 feet tall, with black hair, burning eyes, and an aura of pure authority, Asmodeus is more than just a ruler. Well, everyone, that was our dive into the Nine Hells. If you want me to go into deeper analysis onto each layer of the Nine Hells, leave a comment below and I will definitely do these for you. Until next time, thank you for joining me. This is James from the Dungeon Puffin. Later, guys.